What's up, everybody? I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to the Dice Tower. Today, we are doing, once again, another week in review. As always, this is just basically a series of summaries of the videos we've done last week. And that way you can see which ones you might want to go watch. And then, we have all the links below. So let's get started.
Hey everybody, I'm Zee Garcia, and here's what I did last week. So I did a play-along of On Tour, roll and write style game. You can still go back and find that now, play along with me, and then compare your score to my own and everybody else who was online at the time. So if you haven't done that, go back and check that out. And then I reviewed 3 things. So I reviewed a game called Portolano, which I rate a 7 out of 10. This is interesting. It kind of feels like a throwback game. You're moving a ship around, loading goods, delivering those goods to different ports, avoiding a pirate that's sailing around. It's neat. It's not revolutionary. Kind of feels like a game that came out back in 2006 or so. It's got that look. It's got that feel. But it's also kind of a homey game. It feels warm and engaging and interesting. I had a good time with it. There's some luck. There's some, twists that are going to mess with you. It's the kind of game it is, though. It did not bother me whatsoever, and I found it, like I said, kind of charming. I reviewed Pandemic Hot Zone North America, which I also rate a 7 out of 10. This is a smaller version of Pandemic. At the end of the day, that's basically what it is. And you just need to figure out if that's something that sounds good to you. Would you rather have a game that is 20 minutes or the original that's 60 or so? It is going to give you fewer things to do. It's going to give you only 3 colors, fewer cards, simpler, smaller. It's interesting. It's very well made, and it does what Pandemic does, which is great. But it also is, about 12 years too late. And I'm not sure quite who it might be for. So, there you go. And then I reviewed an expansion to Endeavor Age of Sail. This one's called Age of Expansion, which I rate an 8 out of 10. And it's great. It's going to replace all of the buildings from the original game. It's going to replace all of the cards from the original game and give you a different experience. It's also modular because you can use just the buildings but not the cards and so on. It's interesting. It kind of both guts the game, the original game, and gives you a new version of that very game. And it also lets you play without really learning much that's new. You're still playing the same game. Maybe learn a couple of new icons. I definitely recommend it for those of you that enjoyed the original game a lot. Maybe you play it a lot and you're looking for a nice refresh. Age of Expansion is a nice refresh. There you go. That's it for me, everybody. I'm Zee Garcia. I'll see you on the next one.
Hey there, everybody. It's Mike DiLisio. This week I reviewed the solo modes of 3 games. First, I reviewed Pandorum. This is a space-themed game where you are harvesting resources and using those resources to build buildings. I did not really enjoy this solo variant. I felt like it was tacked on. It didn't feel like it was an organic part of the game. I gave that a 5 out of 10. I also reviewed Aquatica, which is an underwater themed game where you're trying to gain the most influence under the sea. This is a game that is a multiplayer game I adore. I think it's fantastic. The solo variant is a bit underwhelming. It has a beat your high score variant when I really feel like this could have been one that they had had a good virtual opponent. I gave that a 6 out of 10. And I also reviewed In the Hall of the Mountain King, a game where you are playing as a group of trolls that are digging through a mountain to get resources to then dedicate temples. This is a solo variant that I like quite a bit. I gave this an 8 out of 10. It's a game where I feel like the co-op and solo variant is one that exists nicely side by side. So there you have it. Those are my 3 videos. Let's keep moving.
Hey gamers, this is Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire, and this week I reviewed Movie Empire, a worker placement game about making movies, putting together the best scripts, getting the best stars, releasing at the right time when you're on trend, and scoring the most points. The game really wasn't for me, but you can check out my review to see if it's something you might be interested in.
Hello everybody. This week I had a look at Thieves Den, a quick light game about sending thieves out to steal stuff and then selling those stolen goods to underworld fences. This is a fun game that has a bit of drafting and some light worker placement, all played out over only 3 rounds. Each round you're going to draft 3 cards which are locations you can send thieves to hopefully steal items, then take turns to send your thieves out to the different locations. The interesting aspect of the game is if you send a thief to someone else's location, that thief becomes theirs. Now I enjoyed my plays of this one, so I gave it a 7.5 out of 10 and the Dice Tower seal of approval. And that's it for this week.
Hey everybody, this week I took a look at Harry Potter Death Eaters Rising, the latest Rising game from the Op. Is it too hard to be any good? Check out my review to find out.
Okay, so for me, first of all, I took a look at Orleans Stories, which is a huge mess. Best way to describe it, mix Phase 10 with Orleans. Orleans is a game I love. This is not an incredibly long, drawn-out game. I just can't recommend it. I also wasn't a big fan of Exit, Theft on the Mississippi. I tend to like Exit games. This one didn't do anything for me. It was kind of a whodunit, which felt like an afterthought, and there's a few puzzles in it I just wasn't a fan of at all. Blasting Boxes is a game in which you stack boxes, trying to stack light ones on top of heavy ones and score points. It's a really cool idea, but at the end of the day, it's just too random to work. Tooth Fairy. There's a couple okay games in this. It comes with a big collection of plastic teeth, which if you like such things, you're in luck. And the games are all very, very simplified. Kids might like them. I find it, again, a couple of them are just way too lucky, and the ones that aren't are okay. But hey, plastic teeth. Mechanica. Man, I wanted to like this game. This idea of running stuff through a factory conveyor belt line to the end is a great idea. And with these puzzle pieces you put together, the puzzle pieces are okay, and there's just not enough. Right when the game's like, oh, it's starting to get interesting, it ends. And I find that problematic. But I like it. Other than that, Yukon Airways, delivering passengers in the Yukon, and dice drafting. And this is a game that gives you a gazillion different special abilities, and you got to pick which ones will help you deliver these passengers. I like it. We have Fairy Trails. Fairy Trails is a two-player game from Uwe Rosenberg. Very, very light and relaxing. Just place out these tiles and connect all these different paths on the board. Really enjoy this one. Hues and Cues. Not only did I review this one this week, I also played it live. But Hues and Cues is a game with a big swath of colors. You give some clues as to what colors you're trying to think of, and people will put pawns out. It can cover a wide range of people, so check it out. Starlink. This is a draw and get people to guess the picture game, except in this one you're drawing on a constellation map with a white marker connecting everything, making a constellation. It's a really neat look, and it's a nice variant on the Pictionary theme. Unlock Timeless Adventures. I really enjoyed this Unlock series of 3 games. I like the Unlock series more and more. This one seems to get better each time, and I enjoyed all 3 of the ones in there. I continued my series on 10,000 and below, taking a look at low-rated games on Board Game Geek. I did a top 10 list on games with pre-painted miniatures and a top 10 on games with fine art. And then me, Mike, and Zee did our top 10 relaxing games. Games that just let you relax as you play them. On Monday, I did a solo marathon, and for 12 or so hours I played games. Zee did a 2-hour stint in there too. So just playing lots of different solo games and having fun. You can go back and check it out. In the future we may cut that up and put them up solo. We'll have to see as time goes by. And of course we're still doing our daily chats every night at 9 p.m. And so that's what I have. We did this week. Check the description for links to the full videos. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Week in Review on the Dice Tower.